Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego, and it's Sunday, March 30th. Sunday, March 30th, 2025. Normally, I do a live stream on Saturdays at 6 p.m., normally Saturday. But yesterday, I had to take care of some business. Okay, I had to go on the road and take care of some business. But here it is Sunday, and I'm going to do the live stream for you now. And Karina is in the back there making some all kinds of goodies for her friends. So we're going to come over for lunch later on. Now, this is the channel to where you go for free information on green cards, K1 visas. And I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice. I don't work for USCIS, but I got 11 years experience doing this. Bambone, hello Diego. Bambone 1 is on. The first one up to bat on this Sunday. There's a pretty big storm outside. We were raining. I don't know if you can hear the thunder, but it's a pretty good storm out there. So if I suddenly go blank, it's because the internet went away. And the internet usually only goes away during a heavy thunderstorm and something gets hit by lightning or whatever. But I apologize, I wasn't on the live stream yesterday. Normally Saturdays at 6 p.m. I do a live stream, but I had to take care of some business. And now here we are Sunday. Dwayne Bickelman, how is everything going? Well, we are good. We're taking care. Yesterday we had to take care of some business. We had to go out to a different county, which is all good. And I went to stop by and saw my brother, and he gave me the complete series of Star Trek on Blu-ray disc. He was a gift. He gifted me the entire Star Trek movie, whatever, all the Star Trek movies. So thank you for that, Greg. Now, my brother Greg, he's been a movie reviewer for about 30-something years, and sometimes he gives me free stuff. So I went and stopped by to see him, and now here we are Sunday, ready for your questions. Now, yesterday we also got a friend for Vanny, our cat. Now our cat Vanny was born in Miami, and Karina picked up another cat as a friend for Vanny, but they don't seem to be getting along yet. But hopefully they'll get along. We'll see what happens. Dwayne, waiting patiently for her green card status to update, excited for the next step. Yeah, you're right there at the finish line. And everything's going to work out. Everybody's panicking. President Trump's blocking green cards. He's not blocking green cards, okay? What President Trump did was he coordinated with the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, to review and go over all of the asylum seekers who snuck into our country because President Biden let them in. He is checking. He's doing complete police checks on all of the asylum seekers who are wanting green cards. So if you're an asylum seeker and your process suddenly comes to a grinding halt, that's because you're being checked more thoroughly, okay? If you are a K1 visa holder, if you are processing a spousal visa, or you're processing a green card for your visa from the K1 or the K2, the process is going along just like normal. Nothing's going to stop. Bambone 1, the Kenya embassy had to pay in shillings. Okay, you got to pay cash to the embassy. That was no option to pay with my debit or credit or visa. Well, some embassies are like that. Okay, the embassy in Colombia, I could have paid in Colombian pesos, but we paid by credit card. I paid it on my credit card. But some embassies want to see cash up front. Once you pay the embassy fee to the bank, whether in Kenya for shillings, then the bank will issue you a receipt called a MERV receipt. And you have to bring that MERV receipt. Your beneficiary must bring the receipt for the visa consular fee that you paid in shillings to the embassy interview. Dwayne Bickelman, I know my one friend insists that Trump is changing it for the worse. He's changing immigration for the worse. Well, let's take a look at that statement that Trump is making immigration for the worse. He's deporting gang members. He's arresting people who have committed crimes against American citizens, and he's putting them on airplanes and he's deporting them. So you may want to ask your friend, how is that a bad thing for this country? How is that a bad thing? Okay, perhaps your friend would like to have a gang member from the Venezuelan Tres de Agua live with him for a couple of weeks for free. See how that goes. You don't see it going bad. No, the green cards, if you are coming to this country legally, if you're coming here as a legal resident, you've got to clean record, you don't have any police record, you're not a bad person, you got a good moral character, including the sponsor, you're going to get your green card if you qualify. Trump's not going to stop you getting your green card. But if you come into this country illegally, and especially if you are a criminal with a bad criminal record from whatever country it is you came from, the Homeland Security folks are going to find you, they're going to arrest you, and they're going to deport you. It doesn't matter how many of these far-left Marxist judges try to stop Trump from deporting criminals from this country. The process is going to continue. Yeah, is it going okay for the visas? Yeah. The K-1 visas are processing normally. Green cards are processing normally. Nobody's being denied a visa or a green card as long as you qualify for the dang benefit. But you got all these anti-Trumpers, which, they have a right to their opinion. If they don't like Trump, that's fine. But if you have a person that says that Trump is doing a bad thing for immigration, then you need to talk to that person and say, hey, well, perhaps you should put up, let one of these gang members who's killed half a dozen people live with you for a couple of weeks for free. Dwayne Bickelman, I think he just doesn't like Trump. Yeah, you don't have to like President Trump, but you got to agree what he's doing for our country is good. And, protecting our borders is his number one priority. He's militarized the southern border, which was necessary because of all of the bad people that were coming in, unvetted. President Biden said, okay, put this app on your phone, set up an appointment, come into America, and we'll see you in a couple of years for your immigration appointment. That's not how it works. The Congress of the United States doesn't let that happen. Okay, that's not how it works. If you want to come to this country even as a green card holder, okay, you got to meet certain requirements. Number one is you don't have a criminal record. So I'll repeat it one more time. If you don't like Trump and and the way he is handling the immigration of this country to this country, that's your opinion, and that's perfectly fine. But what he's doing is the correct thing, because I don't want my next door neighbor to be an illegal immigrant from Venezuela who is a felon who was released out of a mental asylum in Caracas and is in the country illegally. I want that person deported. I don't mind Trump. I don't have a problem with President Trump. I really don't. He's protecting this country. But my job here is to help you get your K-1 visa and your green card, and also to give you the real news and the real information about what President Trump is doing. And he is not stopping you from coming to this country. Okay? His wife, Melania, is from Slovakia. She came in on an H-1B1 work visa. Then she got her green card. Okay, then she dated President Trump, got married, and now she's a U.S. citizen. So President Trump's wife was a green card holder in the past. So you can see by the very fact that President Trump's wife came here as a legal immigrant, she's doing pretty well for herself. Only in America, right? And I don't have a problem with Trump as long as he, keeps on doing what he's doing. And as Senator Rubio, Marco Rubio, he's the one that's canceling all these student visas on all these bad people. When you fill out a student visa to come to America, they ask you, have you participated in any any demonstrations, or have you participated in any anti-Israeli events, or are you, are you supporting, terrorist organizations? And if you put yes, you won't get a green card, or you won't get your H-1B1 your student visa, whatever the student visa is, F1. I don't know what it is, but you got a bunch of these crazy lunatics in universities around the United States who all of a sudden decided they want to support Hamas, the Palestinian terrorist organization. Well, that immediately revokes their student visa. It becomes obsolete. It becomes irrelevant. So Senator Rubio, former Senator Rubio, now Secretary of State Rubio, has basically revoked about 300 plus student visas. And those people need to get on a plane, go back to wherever it is they came from. And if they want to come to this country to protest, whatever, they can, okay, but not in America. If they want to support a terrorist organization, they need to go back to their home country and get in line with their flags and whatever, but not here. We don't want to put up with that crap. So Dwayne, I don't mind Trump either. He's doing what he has to do that presidents since in the last 50 years hasn't done. So when you come to this country as a green card holder, you got a 2-year green card. You got your 2-year probationary green card. When you get here, stay out of trouble, okay? Don't be getting speeding tickets every week. Just stay out of trouble. Apply for your 10-year green card, stay out of trouble, and then apply for U.S. citizenship, okay? Then you'll become a U.S. citizen. Then you don't have to worry about it anymore, all this immigration stuff. No more paperwork. You're an American. The only paperwork you got to do is the paperwork for your passport so you can go travel. I don't recommend you travel on a 2-year green card. Once you get to America, stay here until at least you get your 10-year green card. So if you got family in overseas, you got to have a round table and talk to everybody in the family. Say, hey, grandma, are you okay? Do you have any health issues that may require your granddaughter or grandson to return back to this country? Are you good? When I was with Karina in Bogota, Colombia, I got all of her family around the dinner table, all of her brothers and nephews and nieces, and said, look, when Karina comes to America, we'll get married. She's not going to be coming back to Colombia for maybe 4 years, 3 or 4 years. Are you guys good with that? They all said, yeah, we're good with that. I said, okay, because if any of you get sick, okay, if her mom in Venezuela was to get sick, Karina's not coming back to attend to it. She'll have to help her mom some other way, whether by WhatsApp on the FaceTime or whatever, because Karina is not going to be going anywhere until she becomes a U.S. citizen. Okay, that's the reason for the green card. The green card is you love somebody, you love an American citizen, you want to get married to that American citizen, you want to start your life in the United States. It's not you want to come to America, get a green card, and fly back and forth like a tourist to different countries on your green card. It doesn't work that way. Now, you can do that as a U.S. citizen, but I don't recommend you doing that as a green card holder. Okay? So, Karina's mom right now is in Colombia. She's in Bogota with her sons, her sons that live there, and she's having a good time. She's trying to get used to the mountains, to the high altitude, the crappy weather, the rain. I think Bogota got flooded out today because of heavy rain. So Karina's mom is getting to experience Bogota, Colombia. So, but in the future, when Karina's a U.S. citizen, no doubt we'll bring Karina's mom to the USA. We'll see what happens. So what questions do we have? I want to help you with questions on your green cards, your K1s. And if you are a member of this channel, like Bambone1 is a member of this channel, okay? Bambone1 has my cell number, my email. He can text me questions anytime he wants. And yesterday I was on the road. I was driving quite a lot, so I wasn't able to jump on the live stream, and I wasn't able to respond right away to text messages. But when I got home that night, I was calling people who are members of this channel, and I was helping them fix things that they couldn't fix. They didn't know how to do it. Okay? USCIS make this process complicated. Okay? And immigration attorneys love the fact that USCIS made this process complicated. So people are like scared to death of Homeland Security. They're scared they won't get approval. So they're paying $5,000 or $6,000 for an immigration attorney when you don't need to do that. You don't have to pay an immigration attorney all that kind of money. If you hang out with me or Karina and I, Karina will be on the live stream Wednesday and Saturdays. But if you hang out with us, we'll get you through the process, okay, for free on the live streams, on the subscription, and But if you sign up as a member, I'll give you my phone number and email address, and you can call me if you got questions, okay? Maru is a member of this channel. Good morning, Diego. Happy Sunday. I made it to the live stream today. Well, let me give you the first Mountain Dew salute, because Maru, you got on the live stream. It's a Sunday, right? I don't normally do a live stream on a Sunday. But I missed yesterday. I was on the interstate driving for quite a bit, so I couldn't do the live stream. My apologies. But I'm going to make up for it today. So Maru's a member, Bambone1's a member. I've got 18 members so far. I'm going to cut it off at 25. When I reach 25 members, I'm going to say that's it. Okay, and it's $9.99 a month. And with that, $9.99 a month. If you were a member for a year, the most you pay is $120 for a whole year. And out of that $120, you're going to get me personally walking you through this process so you don't make any mistakes. Okay. I've helped hundreds of people get through this, hundreds. I even helped a gentleman get here from a country in Africa that was in the middle of a war without a passport. And he got his K1 approved. I got him to the United States. He didn't know how to do it. I walked him through the entire process. He's now in Albuquerque, New Mexico, happily married, loving life. Wait, he's got his green card. He didn't think it was ever going to happen, but he found this channel and I helped him through the process. It took me a year to get him to the United States, but he got here. And so, good morning, Maru. What's going on? How is everybody doing today? Here, there's a big thunderstorm blowing through. Lightning is all over the place. It's raining pretty hard. So if I suddenly lose internet connection, it's because of the big thunderstorm. We live in Florida, and it's a tropical climate. So it's pretty hairy sometimes with the storms that blow through here. We got another cat for Vanny. We got a cat, Vanny. It's a Russian blue cat. I learned that yesterday. So Vanny, our cat from Miami, is Russian blue. So we got a black cat and a Russian blue cat now. So we got two cats in the house, but Vanny doesn't seem to like the new cat. But the new cat doesn't seem to have a problem with anything. And that's Riddy. So we got Vanny and Riddy. And then in the back garden is Rambo, and he keeps the rats out of the backyard. So it's Sunday, March 30th, 2025. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. It's almost April. It's almost springtime. K1 visas are being processed. Like, there's no interruption. Green cards are being processed. It's taken about 9 months to 10 months to get a green card. If don't go into these Facebook groups and get scared to death by all these, anti-Trumpers, socialists, Marxists, communists. They don't like Trump, okay? So they're trying to scare people, saying that green cards are being stopped, K1 visas are being stopped. It's all bogus. It's not true. John, hi Diego. After submitting the adjustment of status from the K1, does USCIS make an interview in these days, or is it waived? No, it's going to be an interview for the green card. And how long time to get approved now? It's taking 9.3 months to get an approval for a green card. Okay? But Karina and I will be going to our green card interview for Karina's 10-year green card. Okay? Next March of 2026, we will submit Karina's application for her 10-year green card. We will have to go in front of an immigration officer for a green card interview. But it's no problem for us. It's no big deal. It's just a pain that we got to go take a day off of work for Karina, etc. Got to probably take a couple of tanks of gas. Got to get a hotel for the night. Bring all the documents with us. Go to the green card interview, and then get approved, and then come back home. So we'll make a weekend vacation out of it when we go for our green card interview. It's no big deal. President Trump said he wants everybody to have a face-to-face interview with an immigration officer. I don't see anything wrong with that. So, John, I hope I answered your question. Christopher Reese, good afternoon, Diego and everyone. Now, Christopher Reese is a member of this channel. Bambone One's a member of this channel. Maru's a member of this channel. I've got 18 members. I'm going to cut it off at 25. Then I'm not going to take any more members until somebody drops off the list, okay? So I got 7 more slots open. If you want a slot, jump on it. If not, just hang out for the live streams. But if you are a member, you'll get my phone number, and you can text me all day long, every day if you want. And I will respond to you unless I'm driving or in the backyard. So good afternoon, Christopher. Now, now remind everybody where everybody's from. Okay, so Bambone One, your beneficiary, your fiance is in Kenya, but she's not from Kenya, right? She's from another country in Africa, but she has to go to Kenya for her visa interview, right? And Dwayne, where's your beneficiary from? Which country? I got people watching from all around the world. Okay, Pakistan, India, Philippines. A lot of people in the Philippines like this channel. They like to watch it. England, Australia, Colombia, a lot of people in Colombia, Venezuela even. But try not to panic too much about Trump being in office, okay? Please don't. He's not going to stop you from getting a green card as long as you qualify for the benefit. And don't mess up the paperwork. Christopher, I'm originally from California, living in North Carolina. Very good. And my beneficiary is from the beautiful Philippines. Very good. And Maru, your beneficiary is from Cameroon. Well, let's give Mountain Dew salutes to all the citizens in the Philippines and Cameroon and Kenya and Pakistan. John, but before the adjustment of status got approved without making an interview. So your adjustment of status has been approved. Your green card's been approved. That's what you're telling me. Very good. Now, you just got to wait for the green card interview. Hopefully you don't have one, but it's a 99% chance you will because of the new policies being put in place. And Maru, you're from Texas. All right. Mountain Dew salute to everybody in the great state of Texas. You hear that thunderstorm coming through here? If I suddenly get cut off, it's because of this freaking thunderstorm that's blowing through here in the panhandle of Florida. One of the consequences of living in a tropical area, right? Although Karina did like it out in Arizona and Nevada. I took Karina to Arizona. I took her to Segelman, Arizona. Took her to the Grand Canyon, and also to Las Vegas and some other towns in Nevada. We had a great time. The climate was much more nicer out west than it was here because of the tropical climate. So every summer we're always wondering if a hurricane is going to hit here or not. It's a horrible feeling, but it is what it is. And we keep going, right? We keep going. Immigration officers are telling people, you're going to get a letter for your green card interview, for your 2-year, for your 10-year. It's just the way it's going to be, okay? President Trump wants people to talk to an immigration officer one more time before they issue the green card. Why is that? Well, there's a couple of people on this channel who have had to endure a massive fraud from their beneficiary. There was a lady came over here from Thailand. Another lady came over here from the Philippines, married the American, and then disappeared into the wild blue yonder. Poof, where'd they go? They just wanted the green card. And then I went ahead and helped these people get through this. That's why Trump wants people to be interviewed face to face with an immigration attorney one more time, just to see if there's any fraud involved, okay? That's to protect you, Mr. American citizen, and also to protect you, Miss Foreign National or Mr. Foreign National, from the American side. Let me see. Christopher Reese. Barely missed the cutoff date of having USCIS sent to MVC, so now we're waiting a couple of months. You'll be hanging in there, Christopher. You're good. Weeks. It's not going to be months. It's going to be weeks. Oh, you said it. Okay. No, it's just a process. So what do you have to bring to your green card interview? Well, you're going to get a letter from immigration. Now I'm talking about the 2-year green card and the 10-year green card interview. You're going to get a letter from immigration that they're going to say you need to bring this, and this to the interview. Okay? So you round up all those documents, the originals, plus make copies of the originals, because they may want to take the copies. Don't give them the originals. You never send original documents. Never, ever send original documents to immigration. Never send an original birth certificate. Never send an original divorce decree. You get certified copies. Certified copies of divorce decrees signed by the clerk of the court. If you have been divorced 3 times, you must include 3 certified divorce decrees in your green card application or your K-1 visa application. And then when you fill out the I-129F for the K-1 visa, you got to put in the back, in the remarks section, these were the 3 other people that I was married to in the past. If they were foreign nationals who came in on green cards, that will be of interest to immigration. On the K-1 visa process, you can have you get 2 chances. So you bring somebody over on a K-1, you get married, it doesn't work out, you get divorced, and then you meet somebody else in a foreign country, you can apply for a second K-1 visa for that person. but that's it. You only get 2 shots at it. But let's suppose you married somebody on a K1 and that person passed away. They unfortunately they got sick and they passed away. Okay, and then you were married once before that. This is your third K1. Then you would have to get a waiver from USCIS. You'd have to write a letter and ask for a waiver for the third K1 visa. And it's not likely you'll get it unless the person passed away. Okay? If you marry 2 people from foreign countries and got them green cards, and now you're on number 3, it's not going to happen. Okay? But you do get 2 chances for a K1. Marry somebody, get a divorce, okay, happens. You get a second chance. But the thing is this, remember this, if you marry somebody on a K1 visa and you sign the 864, the affidavit of support, and then you get a divorce from that person, you're no longer married to that lady from the whatever, from Australia, from England, you are still financially responsible for that person. So if you meet a second person overseas and you want to marry them, you have to include that first K1 visa applicant, if they're still living in the United States, even if you're divorced, as a family member for your household size. Sorcher Anderson, Diego, what happens if you get divorced 1 year after getting your green card? How do you remove the conditions from your green card? Well, most likely, you're going to have to write an explanation as to why you got divorced. What happened? You got to write it, and then you have to probably get a joint sponsor if the income isn't sufficient to file for the 10-year green card. You can still file for the 10-year green card, okay, but you're going to have to get more than likely a sponsor. It's a difficult process. If you get divorced 1 year into a 2-year green card, this is a 2-year green card you're talking about, right? If you get married on a 2-year green card and you get divorced 1 year into the 2-year green card, you have to lift the conditions off that 2-year green card for the 10-year green card. There's some certain things you got to do. You got to qualify financially, number 1. You have to explain why you got divorced, what happened, what was the reason. You got to explain it, okay? And if the explanation isn't sufficient, then your 10-year green card will be denied and you'll have to go back to your home country, okay? But if you get divorced on a 10-year green card, you got a 10-year green card, you get a divorce, stuff happens, nothing's going to happen to you. Immigration is going to let you carry on with your life with your 10-year green card. But on a 2-year green card, that's probationary. That's conditional, okay? So what the answer to would be, it'll be a very hard time. It'll be very difficult to get a 10-year green card if you get a divorce on a 2-year green card. You'd have to jump through all kinds of hoops to get it. It's just difficult. Let me see here. Christopher, what is the average wait time at the MVC before it goes to the embassy? 2 to 3 months, depending on how busy the embassy is. Remember, the National Visa Center, when they get your approved K1 visa, they don't want to hold on to that K1 visa approval any more than you want it to be sitting at MVC. They want it. The National Visa Center will check it for mistakes. If there's no mistakes, they want to send it to the embassy. If the embassy is busy, they're overworked, like in July of 2023, I believe, in July of 2023, the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia was overwhelmed with approved K1 visas. So the U.S. Embassy in Bogota called the embassy and said, hey, hold off in August. Don't send us any more K1 visa approvals until August. So for the whole month of July of 2023, the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia did not accept any K1 visa approvals from the MVC. So what did the MVC do? They held on to the approved K1 visas in the National Visa Center in their archives. They just held on to them. And then in August, when the embassy in Bogota got freed up, then they shipped them off to the embassy. So the National Visa Center will hold on to your green card, your K1 visa approval for as minimal time as possible. But if the embassy is busy, that's what the holdup is at the MVC. That's the holdup. That's what slows it down. It's not the NVC. It's not USCIS Service Center. It's the embassy. Okay. Let me see here. John, I'm just waiting for my green card to get approved. Oh, you're good. But in my USCIS account, they marked the step of interview completed without making an interview. Okay, so then perhaps you don't have to go for an interview. But that happened to Denise Jefferson, who was in Utah, and then she ended up having to go to a visa interview. So even though they said that, which is good, don't be surprised if you get a letter to have to attend a visa interview, a green card interview. Don't be surprised, and just be cool, be calm, and go and take care of it. But so far, so far you don't. It looks like you don't have to have a green card interview. But don't be surprised if you get a letter telling you to go to a green card interview. Okay. Christopher Reese, John, where is your beneficiary from? And Mercy, I bet that was the longest wait ever. We got our NOA 2 in 5 months and 1 week. Yeah, it's taken about 6 months to go from NOA 1 to NOA 2. Now we're at day 32 waiting to go to the National Visa Center. It won't go past 90 days. It's between 30 to 90 days. But with that said, Christopher, you're going to get all my MAGA pixie dust on that so we can get it moving to the embassy. Okay, got it? And we'll give a Mountain Dew salute to the folks of the embassy because they're working their tails off. Remember, the green card, yeah, pixie dust, I will get you some more, okay? This is going to move the process for you, okay? It helps, it's done works wonders for lots of people, and we're going to get it moving. Now, I spoke to somebody on the phone yesterday who's a member of this channel. Okay, I couldn't talk to him during the day. I was driving. I was taking care of business. But I called him in the evening, and he had a question. He said, do I need to include my NOA 2 letter in my green card application? And the answer to that is yes, you must include the NOA 2 letter in the green card application for your 2-year green card. Not for the 10-year green card, for the 2-year green card. The NOA 2 letter is a critical form that must be included. It's the K1 visa approval. Okay? So when you get your NOA 2 letter, you make about 10 copies of it and you put it in a safe somewhere and don't lose it. Don't lose it. When you file for your 2-year green card, what documents do you have to include in that process? What are you going to put in a 2-year green card application? You're going to put in the check made out to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. And look, we got Spoon AJ just joined as a member. Okay, we got Spoon AJ or AI. Spoon AI. Is AI artificial intelligence? Is that what that's for? Or is it Spoon AL? Spoon AL, welcome as a member. You are member number 19. 6 more slots open. I got 6 more slots open. Congratulations, Spoon. Welcome aboard. Now, if you go into the members only channel, you'll be able to get my phone number and you can text me questions and you get my email address. Christopher, I appreciate the pixie dust. No worries. Where's everybody from? Frank Valdez is from Chicago. Spoon AL, thank you, sir. You're welcome. I'm Diego. My dad is Sir. My dad lives in, you're in Austin, Texas. My dad lives in Chiang Mai in Thailand. So I don't know if his house got hit with that freaking earthquake. I don't know. I haven't heard from him. So I don't know what happened. But, we got to send our blessings and prayers to the folks in Burma and to Thailand and parts of communist China. They got hit with that, and India. They got hit with that horrible earthquake. And good evening, Diego and Karina. Francois is in the house. Francois is in upstate New York. Francois is a member of this channel. Francois, welcome. Spoon AL. He's now a member of the channel. Christopher, I'm hearing mixed things in medical, still required in the States, even if the medical is less than a year old. Let me clear up the medical process for you, Christopher. When you get to the America, when you're a beneficiary, when whoever's watching this channel around this big world, lots of people know me in 150 countries. When you get to America, the first thing you're going to do is go get the I-94 printed and get the Social Security number from the Social Security Administration, if you can, if there's not a long waiting list, okay, long line. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to have a medical exam done for the green card. You got to have a medical exam for the green card 2-year, not for the 10-year. When you apply for your 10-year green card, when you go for your 10-year green card, you don't need to repeat the medical exam. It's good for eternity. You arrive in America, you find a civil surgeon authorized by the State Department to conduct green card interviews, medical exams. You get the medical exam done, you recertify the vaccinations, and you include it in the green card application for your 2-year green card. It's Form 693. If you do not repeat the medical exam in the United States, okay, when you apply for your 2-year green card, if you don't include it in the green card application, you're going to get a letter from immigration saying you are going to attend a green card interview, and you must bring your 693 and your vaccination records with you. So here's the secret. When you get to America, when Karina arrived in the United States, the first thing we got was her Social Security number. The second thing we did was we got her a medical exam done in Pensacola by a doctor authorized by the State Department to give medical exams. The doctor signed off the 693. He recertified her vaccinations. He put it in a white envelope and he sealed it, and he put for Homeland Security eyes only. We got one original for the green card application and a copy in case immigration lost the original. Okay? So that application, that medical exam, went in her green card application for the 2-year green card, but she doesn't need to repeat it for the 10-year green card. But let's go over what's required for the 2-year green card. Francois is getting ready to send off Hamid's green card application for his green card. So let's go over what other mandatory documents you must include. First of all, you got to make sure you write a check to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security for $1,440. That's the price of the green card and the biometrics, but it doesn't include the work permit if you want to get a work permit. That's another additional $260. You got to include a G1145 form. So that way, immigration can text you when they receive your green card application and they open the box. You got to include the I-94, mandatory. You got to include the NOA2 letter. Cashier's check is good, Francois. You're good, perfectly good. You got to include the I-94. You got to include the NOA2 letter. You got to include your marriage certificate, right? You got to include any certified divorce decrees from previous marriages or death certificates or annulments. Mandatory. If you have a divorce, if you've been divorced twice, you got to include 2 certified divorce decrees. If you've been divorced once, you got to include 1 certified divorce decree signed by the clerk of the court, not a copy from Office Depot. Okay. What else are you going to put in a green card application for a 2-year? Well, you could put your beneficiary on your will, right? So that if something happens to you, Mr. Sponsor, your beneficiary is going to be taken care of. You're going to get them health insurance. You're going to include proof of health insurance in the 2-year green card application. Karina's got full coverage health insurance. You're going to get her or him on the title to your car, motorcycle, RV. You're going to put him or her on the deed to your house or to the apartment lease. Now, let's suppose you're renting from an apartment and you go to the landlord or the property manager and say, I want to put my husband or wife on the lease agreement to the apartment. And the landlord says no, because you don't have a Social Security number yet, or you don't have your green card yet, or whatever. Then you get the apartment manager, the property manager, to write a letter on letterhead for the apartment complex and say that Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so live together at this address. And as soon as legal status has been adjudicated, we'll put them on the lease to the apartment. You got it? So that way, immigration, what is immigration looking for on the 2-year green card application? What are they looking for? Commingling of funds. You got to have joint bank accounts. How do you get on a joint bank account? You got to get a Social Security number. How do you get a social security number, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary? You get your I-94. As soon as you get to America, print your I-94, 5 or 6 copies, get your passport, make an appointment at the Social Security Administration, or just drive down there and see if you can get in and apply for your Social Security card. If you are female, it's going to come in with your maiden name on it at first, and a big line that says you cannot work without permission from Homeland Security. Remember, a Social Security number does not give you permission to work in the United States, but it does give you permission to get on a bank account, on an electric bill, on a water bill, on a trash bill, on whatever bills you have at your house. Okay? Immigration is looking for commingling of funds, cohabitation. You living together. How can you prove that you live together? Get your name on the lease to the apartment. Get your name on the deed to the house. Print it. Karina's on the deed to the house. And when I pay the property taxes in November, I pay my property taxes. Karina's name is on the bill for the property taxes. That's going in into her 10-year green card application. So when I paid my property taxes, it says Diego Ross and Karina Ross on the deed to the house. I paid the property tax. They sent me a receipt with her name and my name on it saying thanks for paying. That's going in her 10-year green card application. Why is that? It shows that we're living together, and she is responsible with me for the property taxes. What does that mean? Karina is putting her roots into the United States. She's becoming a permanent resident. So, Christopher, let me answer your question. Your beneficiary, or you, if you're the beneficiary, probably your wife or your husband, must repeat the medical exam for the 2-year green card by a civil surgeon authorized by the U.S. State Department. Mandatory. Plus recertify the vaccinations. If you don't, immigration is going to send you a letter. They want to see it. So hopefully I unmixed it for you. It's no more mixed up stuff. This is how it is. Francois Livingston, thank you so much for all your assistance yesterday. I'm sorry I was on the road. I had to stop and do it. Have a few more questions, no problem. Go ahead, send them. Send them later on. And then before you mail it tomorrow, let's make sure everything is correct in that green card application for Hamid. Make sure you got the I-94, Francois. Make sure you got your marriage certificate in there. Make sure you got pictures of the wedding. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you got to put in there. The 485, the 864, the 693. Recertify the Hamid's vaccinations. The NOA2 letter. You got to put the NOA. Lots of pictures. Very good. Let me see. Got a cashier's check, Francois. Got a cashier's check. That's perfect. House deed, perfect. Car title, perfect. Lots of pictures. Boarding passes. There you go. Itinerary, past relationship evidence. There you go. Your cover letter was very long, Francois, and I went over it with a fine-tooth comb. How about copies of mails that addressed to Hamid alone and lots of with both names? Include it. When Karina got her credit card from our bank, then all of a sudden she started getting inundated with other letters from other credit card companies saying, hey, here, get a credit card with us. Get a credit card with us. You only need one credit card, number one. You don't need 5 freaking credit cards. That will totally make it hard for you to build your credit rate. Your credit score will have a hard time growing if you got 5 freaking credit cards. 2 is the most in an emergency, 1 for an emergency backup. So you need 2 credit cards max, no more than that. And then when you get your wife or husband from whichever country she's from a credit card, and you go shopping at Walmart for groceries, have her use it. Start building credit for your beneficiary, okay? Because there's a good chance immigration is going to, when you go for your 10-year green card especially, they're going to check your credit score. If you owe money to the IRS, make sure you don't owe any money to the IRS when you file for, at least for your 10-year green card. For your 2-year green card, you could probably get away with it. But when you go for U.S. citizenship especially, okay, if your beneficiary or if you, Mr. Sponsor, owe money to the IRS and your new wife is going up or your wife's going for a U.S. citizenship, it's going to be very hard for her to get approved for U.S. citizenship if you owe money, if you owe taxes to the government. So before your beneficiary goes to U.S. citizenship interview, get all your tax debt paid off. If you owe a couple of grand to the IRS, if you got to get a signature loan from your bank and then write a check to the IRS, get that freaking IRS debt out of the way before you apply for citizenship. One of the questions the immigration officer is going to ask you, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, is, do you owe any taxes to the IRS? Have you filed your tax returns jointly with your husband or wife? The answer to that question is going to be, it better be, yes, I file joint tax returns with my husband or wife, and no, we don't owe any money to the IRS. Go to the next question. Christopher, once she gets her first Social Security card, it will have a maiden name on it. That's okay. We get married. Can we update the card? Yes, with my name. Yes. Here's how you do it, Christopher. I'm going to earn my membership fee today from you. You get the Social Security number right off the bat. It's going to have your new wife's maiden name on it because she doesn't have a green card yet. It's going to have her maiden name on it, and it's going to say, you cannot work until you get permission from Homeland Security. So what is permission from Homeland Security? Well, the green card, right? Or the work permit, but you're going to wait. So when you got the Social Security number, it's going to be in your wife's maiden name. It's not going to be in your last name. Karina got her first Social Security card with her maiden name. Okay? When she got her green card, we went back to the Social Security office with her green card, and we updated her status in America, and her green card said Karina Ross, right? So the Social Security officer went in his computer and typed in there Karina Ross, her alien number, her legal status, and 6 days later, Karina got her new Social Security card in the mail from Maryland with Karina Ross' name on it, and all that verbiage about, no, you cannot work without permission from Homeland Security. All that was gone. Karina's Social Security card now is just like any other American's, okay, with her husband's last name. But you got to go back to the Social Security office, and you must bring the green card with you and update the status. And then when you become a U.S. citizen, you got to go back to the Social Security office and bring your naturalization certificate with you and say, I'm now a U.S. citizen. Please update my status in the Social Security system. I am now an American. That will save you a ton of headaches when you become eligible for Social Security at age 62. Because if you're not a U.S. citizen, you're going to have to give all kinds of paperwork. It's just a pain in the... You just want to become a citizen, okay? And show the evidence to the Social Security office. And then when you hit 62, you can collect your Social Security, and there's not going to be any issues. Christopher, you got me straight on the medical form. Francois, you got it. You got lots of pictures. Good job, Francois. Francois gets a Mountain Dew salute. And also, we welcome our new member to the channel. So we got 19 members now. So that's, we're getting close to 25. So, Francois Livingston, would you put the CMA report after the I-864 or after the certified marriage transcript? Well, the marriage transcript is the marriage certificate. And your question is the CMA. The CMA, what are you talking? The CMA, the certified marriage. What is it? Read, help me out. This is New York speak. What is a CMA? Is that something in New York that they use in New York? I'm not sure what that is. CMA, what is that? Certified something, right? Christopher Reese. Okay, so once she gets her green card, this is when you update the new Social Security card. That's exactly right. When Karina still has her first Social Security card. She keep it as a memory of her journey into the United States. It's got Karina and her maiden name, and it says you cannot work without permission from Homeland Security. But what we wanted was the number. We couldn't care less about her maiden name being on there. We couldn't care less about Homeland Security saying you can't work without permission. We know that already. You cannot work with a Social Security number. You can only work with a Social Security number and a green card. So, Karina, went back to the Social Security office with her green card, and within less than a week, she got her brand new Social Security card. Now, the number didn't change. Her Social Security number didn't change. The only thing that changed was it said Karina Ross, and all that verbiage went away. Your CMA, are you talking about your real estate stuff? That was your appraisal on your house. I got you. So the question is from Francois. I understand now. CMA, I'm like, what's that got to do with immigration? It's your comparative market analysis. That is the value of your house. You put the value of your house information. Let's see. Where did you write? What did you write? What was your question? Where do you put it? Well, you can put it. I would put it after all the mandatory documents. So it's going to be a G1145. Then it's going to be the 485. Then it's going to be the 864. Then it's going to be the 693. Then it's going to be the marriage certificate, right? Then a copy of the Social Security number, right? Then any divorce decrees or death certificates and annulments. Then it's going to be the NOA2 letter. Then it's going to be a blown-up copy of Hamid's biographic page of his passport from Morocco, a biographic page color copy of your passport from the United States. And then it's going to be a blown-up color copy of Hamid's K1 visa. That's the basic front end of the green card application. That's the basic front end. Those are the mandatory documents that they're looking for. And you got to include the I-94, because immigration is going to look at the dates on the I-94 and they're going to compare it to the dates on the marriage certificate. So if you got married within the 90 days on the I-94, you're in status and you got 6 months to process the green card. But I recommend you get it done within 50 to 60 days after you get married. So immigration, what I would do is I put the marriage certificate and the I-94 back to back in the document protector. So they look at the marriage certificate. Okay, Francois and Hamid got married on this day. Then they flip it over and they look at the I-94 and they can see that you got married within the 90 days allowed by the Border Patrol. Okay. Let me see. So Christopher, once she gets her green card, you go back and update her, and then she'll get a brand new Social Security card she'll become Mrs. Reese. Christopher, I don't know if she had her updated Social Security number with my last was needed for medical insurance and bank accounts. Yeah, you can use that. All they care about is the Social Security number. I got Karina on my military health care with her Social Security number, showing her maiden name and all that verbiage that says you can't work without permission from Homeland Security. So the U.S. military said, well, this Social Security card has got her maiden name on it. That's fine. We're going to put her on your insurance, Diego. But when she gets her new Social Security card with her married name on it, come back to the medical insurance office here on base, and we will update her status and update her maiden name to her married name. This process isn't difficult. It's just a lot of running around. It's a lot of legwork. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of sweat equity, right? It's a lot of work. But it's an investment in your family. If you don't include the medical exam, repeat medical exam in the green card application for the 2-year, you're not going to get the green card. It's not going to happen. You're going to be told to bring it to the green card interview. Maybe they'll cut you a break and say, okay, you didn't include the medical exam in the 2-year green card application, but you got to now you're going to have to go in front of an immigration officer and bring it to him personally, face to face. You got to listen to me, guys. This is what's going down. This is what's happening in the real world of immigration. I'm on top of it. My thumb is right here on the pulse of immigration every day. And whenever there's a change, I'll either make a video or I'll do a live stream and update you on it on our scheduled live streams. Christopher, you got it. Shiku's in the house. Shiku Dumbaya. Shiku, why aren't you a member of our channel yet? Come on, you got to sign up as a member. Still waiting for my green card. It's been over 3 months. My friend's got her green card in 4 months. Same case, K1, I'm hoping. Now, Shiku, let me explain something to you. Everybody's green card application is like a piece of DNA. Everybody's green card application is like DNA. It's like fingerprints. Everything's different. My green card application for Karina, or I should say Karina's green card application that I helped put together, is different from Shiku's. Shiku, your green card application is different from your friend or whoever it was. Okay? You got to focus on your green card application, what you put in the green card application, what evidence you included in the green card application. Don't be paying attention. Don't be copying off the desk off your neighbor. Worry about what's in your application, okay? Well, not worry about it. Just make sure you get it done. Not everybody's going to get their green card at the same time who apply for it at the same time. Some people live in different states. I live in Florida with Karina. Our green card application went to Chicago. If you live in Alabama, right up the street here, your green card application goes to Tempe, Arizona. You can't base your green card application on somebody else's. Seven Angels. Hello, Diego, my brother. Seven, what's going on? How is your family, by the way, Seven? How's everybody's family? Christopher. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for the information. Christopher, you got this. Don't sweat it. You can do this. You guys, everybody right now watching this, you're going to get your green card or your K-1 visa or your spousal visa, so long as you put the paperwork together correctly without making any mistakes. Remember, immigration, let's suppose you fill out the I-129F for a K-1 visa and your beneficiary has a middle name, all right? It's Susan Mary Jones. Susan Mary Jones is your beneficiary's name. When you fill out the K-1 visa application, you're going to put Susan Mary Jones. Okay? You can't forget anything, especially on the name. Because if you put just Susan Jones and forget the Mary, if you forget the middle name, then that legal document becomes invalid. It's invalid. They're going to send everything back to you. According to the passport, your beneficiary passport, she's got a middle name. Why didn't you put it on the I-129F? So you have to repeat all that freaking paperwork all over again because you got lazy or complacent or weren't paying attention. I'm not saying you, I'm saying that person. Okay, come on, let me put some, we got to put more MAGA pixie dust on everybody's process here. Come on, let's get it speeded up, okay? Spoon AL. Now, Spoon AL is a brand new member of the channel today. So everybody say hi to Spoon. Diego, are you 100% disabled vet to get your wife on your VA medical? No, I'm not 100% disabled veteran. I got 0 disabilities. After my 20 years in the Navy, okay, I was lucky enough to be able to retire without any disabilities. So I got 0 disabilities. I don't use the VA. I use TRICARE. I don't use the Veterans Administration for anything. I use TRICARE. Okay, there's a big difference there. So I got 0. If I was 100% disabled veteran, I wouldn't be paying property taxes right now. But I have 0 disabilities other than being worn out and tired from 20 years in the Navy. It wears you out. After 20 years, I was like, I'm done. 7 Angels. My wife got her green card 2 weeks ago. Oh, well, that's a Mountain Dew salute. Thank you so much for answering all of my questions and for help, your brother. Hey, no worries. Mountain Dew salute. Congratulations, 7. And tell everybody what country we were talking about here. What country? Let me see. Christopher Reese. But is it worth it not following their rules? Whose rules? Hey, it's their dance, so we must follow their lead. When immigration says you jump 6 feet, you jump 6 feet. If I learn something new in the immigration process, if I find out something new about the process, I'll make a video about it first, and then I'll bring it up on the live stream. And if you are a member of this channel, which is only $9.99 a month, for 1 year, it's $120. It's a lot cheaper than $6,000 to $7,000, right, for an immigration attorney. If you are a member of this channel, and I find something urgent or new that just happened with green card processing or K-1 visas, I will send everybody who's a member a text message telling them what the new process is. so you don't get, caught into surprise. Okay. If you're a member of this channel, I will send you a text if anything changes with the processing of green cards or K1 visas. You'll be the first to know because I'm watching this every day. Remember, I'm retired. I've retired 3 freaking times, guys. But now I'm doing this. Now I'm doing this full time for you guys. Shiku, I don't know how to become a member. When you go into the channel, when you look into the channel, the front page of the channel, there's a little section that says membership. You click on there, and then YouTube will guide you through it. It's easy to do. Francois Livingston, thank you so much. No worries. Francois, we're getting pixie dust for Hamid, okay? Don't stress this. Francois, I took the time we were allowed to mail the green card. I took the time we were allowed to mail the green card. Spoon A out. Okay, thank you. No worries. Raj Malhotra. Hey, Diego, your blue t-shirt looks nice. Very nice. Well, thank you. I usually just wear like a black shirt because it makes the light easier so it can see me easier. Black seems to be a good color for the light that we got to have in this Mountain Dew studio. So you can, but I went with blue today. Let me see. Well, thank you for the compliment, Raj. Christopher Reese. So you recommend doing the green card as soon as getting married? Here's what. No, that's not what I said. Here's what I said. You get the Social Security card right away. This is the process for a successful green card. You got a K1 visa, you fly to America, you land in the United States. The K1 visa becomes irrelevant at that point. The K1 visa is used to get you from Manila, Philippines to New York City, for example. As soon as you land in New York City, the K1 visa becomes a dinosaur. It's extinct. The next thing you get is an I-94. A Border Patrol form, I-94. And you go, as soon as you get home, wait a couple of days, you print the I-94, 5 or 6 copies. That is your permission slip to live in the United States for 90 days, during which time you must get married. If you don't get married within those 90 days, you got to go back to your home country. If you get married within those 90 days on the I-94, you become in status, which means you can stay here while you wait for the green card. So when do you apply for the green card? 50 or 60 days after you get married. Why do I say that? Well, in those 50 to 60 days, you got to get evidence of living together. You've got to get on bank statements. You got to get on utility bills. The beneficiary is what I'm talking about. When Karina and I got married on the beach in Florida, we got married on January 14th, 2024. We filed for her 2-year green card on February 29th. It was a leap year. So that was about 58 days. In those 58 days, we got Karina on the bank with her Social Security card. Even though it had her maiden name on it, it was irrelevant. We got her on the title to the car, the deed to the house. She's on the electric bill, the gas bill, the water bill, the sewage bill, the trash bill. Right away, we put her on all those bills. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, we have to wait for about 50 to 60 days for the bills to come in with her name on it. So after 58 days, we had 2 bank statements with her name on it. We had 2 bills from the trash company, 2 bills from the water company, et cetera, with her name on it. So immigration could see that Karina was co-responsible for the bills. Okay, she wasn't working. You cannot work until you get your green card or your work permit. Okay, so it takes 60 days to collect all the evidence for your 2-year green card. The marriage certificate, the I-94. You want to have at least 2 months worth of utility bills, water, electric, gas, trash, whatever you can get. Okay, it depends on where you live in America. Some states like New York City or New York State, they got some crazy ideas up there. The New York is ran by the government. It's just incompetent. Okay, and Francois knows that. California is crazy too. If you get married in California, it could take you, in Los Angeles, it could take you a month or two just to get the marriage license. And then you get married, you got to wait 3 months for the marriage certificate. If you live in Los Angeles, California, I recommend you fly to Las Vegas and get married in Nevada. Get married in Nevada. So you get your marriage license and your marriage certificate and everything done in 3 days instead of waiting 3 or 4 months because the government of Los Angeles is ran by, I don't know, idiots, in my opinion. They're idiots. Los Angeles, the government of Los Angeles is absolutely incompetent, my opinion. If you have a different opinion, that's fine. But if you try to get married in LA, it's going to take you for freaking ever to get the paperwork for your green card application. If you live in LA, jump on a plane, fly to Las Vegas, get married, and then return to your home state of California, and then you have the marriage certificate and everything within a couple of days, not 3 or 4 months. Let me see, Q. If you want to be a member, you just go into the front of the channel where it says K1 Visa or whatever. You got a picture. This where it shows the videos. Just look for membership. If you want to join, that's fine. I mean, we're glad to have you. But remember, there's only a few slots left. So Christopher, you recommend doing the green card as soon as you get married? No, I recommend you get the Social Security card. I recommend you get on the bank account. You start getting on the service bills, the utility bills. You should apply for the green card about 50 to 60 days after you get married. Once you get to America, the K1 visa is irrelevant. You're working off the I-94. You want to try to get everything done within those 90 days on the I-94. So you get to America, you get married, you get the Social Security card, and then you start and you get on the bank, you get on the utilities. You are building a life for your beneficiary as a co-member of your family right away, as fast as you can, because then you got 60 days to collect the evidence, and then you apply for the green card, and then include all this evidence of you living together, etc. CQ, I'm still looking. It's right there, CQ. You can find it. Let me see. Raj, hey Diego. When's supposed to get green card? Applied November 24th, November 2024, got work permit. You got your work permit, you got your biometrics done. So December, January, February, March. Let's see, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So by August or September of 2025, you will get notification for your green card interview. Or hopefully they just mail it to you. Christopher Reese, so easy, even a submariner can do it. Now, Christopher, you were a submariner, so you were on fleet ballistic missile submarines, or you were on fast attack submarines. What kind of submarines did you serve on? So we're going to give you a Mountain Dew salute for being a part of the submarine force, because that's tough duty. But you get submarine pay, right? And hazardous duty pay, I don't know. Holding your breath underwater pay. Spoon A out. I just clicked join next to subscribe button. There you go. That's an easier way to do it. So Spoon A out says, I click join next to the subscribe button. I didn't even know that existed. There you go. Good job, Spoon. Francois Livingston. Who me stress? Francois, I got you through this whole process over the last several years. It was a very difficult process for you. We had to overcome a bunch of stuff that you had no clue how to fix. But by the grace and the goodness of the good God, Lord, our Savior, for me anyway, not necessarily for you guys, but for me, we got you through this, right? I got all this knowledge up here in my head over the last 11 years of doing this. I can write a book on how to process a green card. I could write a book on how to successfully complete a K1 visa application. I could probably work for USCIS and make $100,000 a year doing this, but I would be approving everybody. I wouldn't want to disapprove anybody. I'd be approving everybody. So I couldn't work for USCIS. Okay. So I did instead. Karina, my beautiful wife from Venezuela, said, why didn't you put a YouTube channel together? Which I did. I was in Philadelphia, Colombia, which is a very historic part of Colombia, and we were walking around this big cobblestone square that was probably 500 years old. And Karina said, "You got to put an immigration channel together, help people get their green cards." I said, "That's a great idea." So that's what I did. I had a cooking channel, so I deleted all the cooking videos, and then it was a Explore Colombia channel, but I didn't delete those videos because those some on this channel somewhere in there you can find videos about Karina and I living in Colombia. We went up to the tallest waterfall in Colombia. We went even videos in Villaleva where we started the channel. But anyway, so Christopher was on fast attack submarines. Very good. Now, fast attack submarines, they named them after the cities of the states, like USS Philadelphia, right? USS Albuquerque. Let me see here. I don't want to miss anybody. Francois Livingston, I meant to say we took the 6 months allowed to send a solid green card. That's fine. You listen to me. You're good. Francois, yeah, New York is something else. Look, the people of New York are great. I lived in Staten Island it wasn't a long time, but I lived in Staten Island. Okay. My life basically began in New York. But the people are great, but the government sucks. You keep electing idiots. New York City especially is ran by idiots. The governor of New York, she's a freaking moron. And that's just my opinion. If you like the governor of New York, that's great. I mean, fine, that's all good. But she's such a horrible person. She needs to go get a job, okay? Unplugging all the septic lines that run into New York City. That'd be a good job for her. But New York City, the people are great. Shiku, did you figure it out how to join? Christopher Reese, I'm in North Carolina, so I got to get Social Security card before I marry. That's correct. It takes 3 months to get a marriage certificate. It takes 3 months to get a marriage certificate in North Carolina. Christopher, it takes 3 months to get a marriage certificate in North Carolina. Then I would be jumping on a plane, flying down to Florida, go to Orlando, Tallahassee, Miami. Don't go to Miami. That's busy there. Go to Orlando or Fort Lauderdale and get married in Florida, and you get everything done in 3 or 4 days. Not 3 freaking months. Because if you get married in Florida, you go back to the government office with your marriage license where everything was signed by the pastor or whatever, whoever, and then they'll print the marriage certificate for you right there on the spot. You just got to pay the $20 or whatever it is. Francois, Shiku, joining works better on a laptop than trying to do it on your cell phone. There's new information. And Christopher was on fast attack submarines. I didn't serve on fast attack submarines, but I helped provide logistic support for them from a submarine tender, Christopher. So I've been on the I've been on the USS Dallas, USS Albuquerque, USS Philadelphia. I've been inside a bunch of those fast attack subs, but I didn't actually serve on them. Raj, hi Diego, my friend. Question: do we have to apply for green card before I-94 expires? No, you don't. You don't have to apply for the green card before the I-94 expires. But you got 6 months from the day the I-94 starts. So you look at your I-94 and look at the date. When did it start? You got 6 months to get married and apply for your green card status. But it's better if you can get it done within 90 days, if you can. But if you can't, relax. You're good. Christopher, crazy pay, but I don't do well in the sun even to this day. You've been underwater so long. I'm not going to talk about the schedules of a fast attack submarine on this channel because it's public and the information is classified pretty much, except during the Biden administration, they kept revealing submarine movements, which was totally an impeachable offense, by the way. I mean, absolutely insane that the Biden administration was putting out there where gold and blue crew turnarounds were taking place. The Secretary of Defense under the Biden administration should have been immediately removed from office. But that's going back in the past. Let me see here. Francois, you sure did help us get through. Yeah, but thank you. It's all good, Francois. We're going to get to the green card stage now. Spoon AL, I was an airman on the USS Abraham Lincoln weapons elevator. Well, that's a Mountain Dew salute. Because on the USS Abraham Lincoln, that's an aircraft carrier, and you were loading weapons to F-18s, probably fast attack fighter jets. Raj, we have 49-year age gap. That's okay. I thought we would never get a K-1 visa. Yes, you did. I told you would if you listened to me. But you motivated us a lot. Thanks, Diego. Age doesn't matter in love. That's correct. If you don't mind, how much age gap do you have with Diego? Does Karina have with me? 22 years. I am 22 years older than Karina. But age is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Your videos help us a lot. Well, that's the reason for the channel. And you got to thank Karina for the channel. It was her idea. I mean, I'm in the center of this very famous 500-year-old square that was built by the Spanish conquistadors, where Simon Bolivar and his team basically put the Constitution together for Colombia. And Karina said, you got to put an immigration channel together. And here it is. I've helped so many people. I'm not an immigration attorney, okay? But how many immigration attorneys have brought somebody over to the United States? Probably zero, or a very low percentage, right? You know, if you need an immigration attorney to do this, you either don't have enough time to do it, or you're scared of the US government, but you shouldn't be. They work for us, we don't work for them. Or you're just lazy, okay? This process isn't difficult. It's not. But the way immigration wrote it in their explanations, it's very confusing. You don't know what freaking form to use. You don't know what this is or what that is. So what I did was I decomplicated the whole process for you guys so you can understand how to do it. I brought it down to where I can understand it at a 12th grade level instead of this freaking PhD level that USCIS has written it. It's like you got to have a PhD in something to understand how to do this. And immigration attorneys love it if you get confused and you don't understand, because then they're going to get $5 or $6 grand from you. And then you realize after you pay them the $6 grand how freaking easy this thing was. And it's easy because you're hanging out with Diego and Karina. Let me see. Christopher. Yeah, I Googled this. This is a thought guess. We're going to Florida. Go to Christopher, get on a freaking plane, fly to Florida, get married. You got to be in Florida about, I would say 5 days, because you get the married, you go into the office, and let's say you go to Orlando, fly, or Tallahassee may be closer. You go into the government office, say, I want to get a marriage license. You pay for the marriage license. You got to wait 3 days. Then you get married. You can get married by the place you got the marriage license at. You can ask them to marry you if you want. Then you get the marriage certificate right on the spot. They give you one. They give you one. You pay for one. They give you one for free. But how many certified copies of the marriage certificate are you going to get? At least 5. You need at least 5 certified copies of your marriage certificate. One for the 2-year green card. One for the 10-year green card. One for U.S. citizenship, one for your own file to keep, and one for backup in case immigration lose one. When you got married in Florida, get the marriage license on the spot, wait 3 days, get the marriage certificate right then and there, pay for it, and get 5 copies certified by the clerk. So the clerk of the court is going to sign 5 certified copies for you, because you're going to need them in the future, and you're not going to want to have to fly back to freaking Florida to get them. So get them that day, okay? If you follow my advice, you're going to need it in the future, okay? Let's suppose Karina and I decide to move to Montana. The first thing I'm going to do is go into the Florida government offices down here and get 2 or 3 more certified copies of my marriage certificate. in case we need them for the future. We got them already here, but I will have backup. You got to have backup copies. Okay. The age gap between Corinne and I is 22 years. Christopher Reese, go to Florida and get it done. You'll be done in 5 days, not freaking 3 months. Los Angeles is worse than North Carolina. LA, it takes you 6 months. It's totally incompetent. Total incompetence. Sophia's Gym. Hello, Diego. I'm a bit nervous. We have our green card interview for May. Any advice as we prepare? The secret to passing a green card interview is to relax, wear business casual clothes. Don't be wearing jeans and t-shirt. Don't be wearing, a ball cap into a green card interview. Just wear business casual and answer the questions as they're presented to you. If you don't know the answer, say, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that question. Don't make up something. If they ask you, what is the color of your husband's toothbrush? Or what is the color of your wife's toothbrush? And you don't know, and you make up a freaking color and you say red. And then they ask your husband or wife the color of his or her toothbrush, and he says or she says is red. Then there's a mismatch, right? Then there's a problem. If you get a question, what's the color of your husband's or wife's toothbrush? You say, and if you don't know, you say, I don't know. I never use his or her toothbrush. I use my toothbrush. So I never pay attention to his or her toothbrush. And then shut up. Okay? So my advice to you, anybody who's getting ready for a green card interview, for a 2-year green card interview, 10-year green card interview, is to know everything about the house where you live, know everything about the city or town where you live. So let's suppose when Karina goes for her 10-year green card interview and they ask Karina, hey, Karina, what's the color of the carpet in your house? She's going to say beige. Right here, I don't know if you can see it. They may ask her a question like, what color is the car that you drive or your husband? Well, silver. They may ask her, why do you want to become a U.S. citizen? If it's for the citizenship interview, she'll say, because I want to become part of this country. This is my country. I want to be a citizen of my country, my new country. Okay. Some people say, because I want to vote. Some of these immigration attorneys, they put these videos out and they say, if you get a question, why do you want to become a U.S. citizen? Say, because you want to vote. Well, what if the immigration officer who is conducting the interview is non-political, can't stand politics? He's like independent, like me, I'm independent. That's going to be like, well, okay, so what are you, Republican, Democrat? What are you? That's, if they ask you, why do you want to be, if you're going for U.S. citizenship, why do you want to be a citizen of the United States? Well, because this is my new country. This is my country. This is where I live. This is where my life is. I should be a citizen of the country, which is my country. Not because you want to freaking vote. I mean, you can vote when you become a citizen, but that's not the right answer, in my opinion. You don't want to throw anything political into an immigration interview. It's got to be totally like neutral. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I don't care. But you got to be totally neutral in an immigration interview. It's not difficult. If you get a question at a green card interview, what is your husband's favorite food? Karina will say, well, he likes Thai food, Thai curries. He likes English roast food. He likes Venezuelan food. You just got to answer the question. If you don't know, then you don't know. Don't make up a freaking story. If you get a question at a green card interview, even the K-1 visa interview, if you don't know the answer, say, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. That isn't going to get you in trouble. What will get you in trouble is if you make up something just to answer the question. Let me see here. Francois, YouTube keeps cutting off. Anyone having this issue? Or is it just me? It's got to be New York. It's something going on in New York, Francois, because we're good, right? And Shiku, come on, why sign up? Shiku, when I hit 25, I'm done with memberships. Let me see. Raj, Karina is an Indian name. Oh, okay. I guess one very popular actress from Mumbai, Bollywood, Karina Kapoor. Very cool. Have you ever visited India? I have never been to India, but I promised Karina we're going to bounce around some of these countries where we help people get their green cards from. India is on the list. What we want to visit the Philippines. I thought maybe Australia, but Australia, I mean, I don't know if I don't know about Australia. Maybe, maybe not. Australia is basically like just visiting Florida. You know, there's no difference really, other than the accent. But Australia is a beautiful place, but we just never thought about going there. But somewhere that's totally different, like the Philippines, India. Uh, I mean, I've been all over South America and Central America, but we're definitely going to go visit her family in Colombia once she becomes a citizen. Christopher Reese, that's what I'm talking about. Right on the spot. You get married in Florida, boom. Right on the spot, you get your marriage certificate, but get 5 certified copies. Raj, is it safe to travel within the United States as waiting for a green card? Yeah, you can travel in the United States while waiting for a green card, but you got to bring your I-94 with you. Make sure you got your I-94 in your pocket when you travel with your passport. Okay, that's all you got to carry. It doesn't matter if it's expired. If your I-94 is expired, then you need a receipt showing that you've applied for the green card. You got your I-94 that's expired. You got a receipt saying you've applied for your green card. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Sophia's Gym, thank you. Yeah. And Morocco, Francois, and Morocco's on our list, okay? Because I like deserts. I've been to Egypt about 4 times. I went to Egypt, about 4 times. I love the desert. We were in Nevada last week, and I just loved driving. I rented a big F-350 truck and drove across the desert from Las Vegas to Paran. I love being out in the desert. We're going to go to Morocco. Is it safe to travel within the United States while waiting for a green card? Yes. Bring your I-94 with you. Bring your passport. And if your I-94 is expired, it's all good. Don't worry about it. You've applied for the green card. You're good. You are in status. Bring a copy of your marriage certificate too, if you want. Sophia's Gem. I've heard that sometimes you are scheduled for a second interview. Is there any truth to that? The only time a person gets a second interview, okay, is if the first interview is a total screw up, a total disaster, and the immigration officer doesn't want to deny you the green card but wants to give you a second chance. The immigration officer or the people, the two, the husband and wife, they go to the green card interview and they totally screw it up, mess it up. It's a total disaster. But the immigration officer knows that the relationship is real, but the people are just nervous and they don't like to be in that kind of a predicament. So the immigration officer will say, look, you're a little bit nervous during this interview. I'm going to reschedule it and come back another day when you guys are not so freaking scared. That's the only time I've ever heard of a second interview. Okay? The person messes up, but not intentionally. It's no fraud involved. It's just pure nervousness in the process. A lot of people are scared of the U.S. government. But remember, I worked with the U.S. government for years in the military. So I know pretty much, the process. What's important is you got to be relaxed at the interview. It's important not to lie and not make up stories. If you don't know the answer to a question, say, I don't know. Diego, let's suppose they ask me, what's the color of Karina's toothbrush? Well, it's purple. But the reason I know that is because I know that's a common question at a green card interview. So I know what her color of her toothbrush is. But if I didn't know that, I really couldn't care less what the color of Karina's toothbrush is. All I care about is, does she need a new one yet? The color's irrelevant. But immigration use it as a basis to try to see if you've been in the bathroom with your wife or your husband. That's all it is. Raj, I think I was lucky. I got married license in a week, the certificate in 3 weeks in Orange County, Los Angeles. You lucked out, but it took you a month to get through it. Usually it's 3 to 6 months. Los Angeles, the process takes 3 to 6 months. You were lucky. You must have had a DEI hire working your case. Okay? I'm not saying that to be negative. I'm just saying that's what happened. That's the way it is in California. Okay? You're locked out. But if you live in Los Angeles, if you listen, guys, Los Angeles would be a great place if you got a new government. If the governor of California was to be fired and somebody was put in there that understands business and how to run a business and how to run a state, other than this idiot, California would be a great place to go. But right now they just don't have a competent government. Francois, Morocco is not all desert. Google it. Okay, I'll check it out. But it's on our list. I got a list of countries in the back that we're going to go visit. And that's motivation for Corinne to become a citizen also. Wow, when I'm a citizen, I get to go visit Morocco. I get to go see the Taj Mahal in India. Oh, we're going to go back and we're going to go here. We're going to go to England, go eat fish and chips in London. Raj, only the beneficiary will appear for an interview or both. It depends. If you go to a green card interview and you pass and you're sitting together and you're answering questions, no problems, everything's good. Here's your green card. Have a happy day. But if you make some mistakes in the green card interview, if you act real nervous, if you're scared, let's suppose you're sweating profusely, like somebody who's trying to smuggle stuff through an airport TSA agent, you're going to get separated, and it's called a Stokes interview. The husband goes over here, the wife goes over here, and they ask questions while they separate you to see if the questions match up to what's real and what's not real, to see if you're in a real relationship or not. It's called a Stokes interview. But it only happens very rarely. It only happens if the immigration officer isn't confident in the responses to the questions. Raj Malhotra, we are traveling to Alaska in April. How will it be? It will be cold. And in May, the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon in May will be hot. I hope you travel to the Grand Canyon was good. Raj, we had a great time in the Grand Canyon. We hiked the South Rim. My feet were killing me. Karina bought some souvenirs for the fridge. She got some magnets for the fridge, which said the Grand Canyon on it. So Karina, I've been waiting my whole life to go to the Grand Canyon, and Karina got to be there with me. And now we checked it off of our bucket list of places to go. Okay. And next year we'll go on vacation. We'll make videos for you guys to watch. If you are a member of the we'll make videos, and then after a couple of days, we make them private for our members only, guys and girls. So Alaska will be cold in April, and the Grand Canyon will be hot in May. Sorry to ask, Diego, you have problems in your leg? I saw on the video. Yeah, it was hurting, like it was killing me. I pulled a muscle in my left calf muscle. I'm good now, but I'm not going to stop a hike up the Grand Canyon because I got a pulled ligament in my freaking calf. I kept going, but it hurt like the dickens. But we had a great vacation, and Karina's like, "Are you okay? I said, "I'm good. Keep going. We're going to do this." Okay, guys, I've been talking an hour and a half. We welcome Spoon to the channel, a new member. We're glad to have you. Now you got my email address, my cell number. You can text me, call me, email me. Like I said, if I'm driving, I won't respond. Like yesterday, I didn't do a live stream. I was on the road driving, and I went to visit my brother with Karina and my nephew. So I did the live stream today, Sunday, to make up for yesterday. I'll be back on the live stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. And Raj gets the last word. You said I will get a green card interview notification in August or the green card. It depends. It depends on the immigration officer, whether they mail you the green card or they want to give you an interview. But I'm pretty sure you're going to get a green card interview. Just like Karina and I will no doubt have a green card interview next year for Karina's 10-year green card. Okay, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. How long does it take to get the green card? 2 to 3 weeks after the interview.